Hello, class. This is Demetrius Wilson, and we are now on to Chapter 5 in Intro to Business. We'll talk about entrepreneurship for this chapter, starting off with small businesses, and you typically associate small businesses with entrepreneurship. Small businesses and entrepreneurs, they fuel the economic engine of the United States, most specifically California. It is definitely the king of small businesses. Make economic growth and recovery from cyclical downturns possible, right? So if we go through a time of economic downturn, this typically boosted by influx of small businesses through entrepreneurs, creates jobs for individuals that no longer want to be in the mainstream workforce, which is good. And dependent on by large businesses to support component parts, services, and product distribution. So these bigger businesses are counting on the creation and stabilization of small businesses in order to survive. Entrepreneur is a person who organizes and manages an enterprise, especially a business, usually with a considerable initiative and risk. And risk is the word that's always associated with being an entrepreneur. Assume all risk and reward of a business. That reward is the good part. And often they are an innovator, meaning they create things. And must balance decisiveness with risk. And it's always a balancing act. Should I risk it all? Should I risk 50%? Should I risk 25%? All a balancing act there. As always, there are advantages and disadvantages of starting a business. There are also advantages and disadvantages of staying within a business and working for someone. Advantages are independence, financial gain, get to keep 100% or, a good portion of the proceeds, control, prestige, equity, and opportunity. The disadvantages of being an entrepreneur, time commitment, right, kind of takes over your life, and risk. You are being, involving yourself in a little bit of risk. Uncertainty, because you don't know exactly what's going to happen. Typically, if you work for a corporation, you'll know what's going on. And then financial commitment. Reasons that small businesses fail, and a lot of them do fail. Not to discourage anybody from going into business, but small businesses do oftentimes fail. Lack of planning, right? I didn't have a great business plan. Didn't really think, far enough down the road for it to be successful. Failure to delegate, right? You're the only one who can do things. You haven't delegated anything to anyone else. Unwillingness to change, right? We can't be resistant to change, as we saw in some of our videos. Forgetting that cash is king, right? So cash is always still king. And your business runs around cash. A lot of people, they have built certain things on credit and continue to do so, but cash is still king. Lack of objective targets, right? So remember, objective, short term, that's a sprint. Goal, that is the marathon. So you have to have certain targets within those sprints. You can't just kind of chug away and work in hitting the iceberg with the pick to see, hopefully things move along. You have to have some type of target. And failure to ask the right questions. You have to ask the right questions in business, whether it be internally or externally, or both. Considerations to take before starting a business. So those of you young entrepreneurs and maybe not so young entrepreneurs, make sure that you listen to these considerations. So motivation. What is your incentive for starting a business? Shouldn't be that I just want to kick my feet up on the desk and relax, because you'll go out of business quite quickly. Strategy. What differentiates your business idea and the products or services from others in the market, right? How are you different, and why are people going to purchase from you as opposed to someone else? And have a realistic vision. Let's all, live and operate here on planet Earth. How long will it take to make your product and or service available? Things like that you definitely need to know. What are the steps in starting a business? And on any of these, if I go through them, too fast, just hit pause on the video and just, read them. Write a business plan, right? You have to write a business plan. SCORE has a very good template for business plans. Get business assistance and training. Choose a business location, right? So you don't want to open up a bar where nobody can see it. So you have to have it where people can see it driving, down the street. They actually can, see what's going on and see your billboard. Finance, your business, right? How you're going to finance? Is it going to be through a loan? Is it going to be through asking your Uncle John if you can, have some money, like a personal loan as opposed to a loan from a bank? Is it going to be through venture capitalists, someone who, will provide you with money but wants either a stake in your business or a certain amount of money back? Determine the legal structure. I mean, we talked about sole proprietorships, corporations, partnerships. What's best for your business? Register a business name, get a tax ID, register your state and local taxes, obtain business licenses and permits, like, do you need a sales permit for what you're doing? And then understand employer responsibilities, most specifically in regards to HR or human resources. Choosing a business location may be the most important decision a small business owner or startup will make. So it requires precise planning and research. So you can't just say, "Oh, yeah, let's go over there." It takes a lot to go into planning and research in terms of where you're going to be located. It involves looking at demographics, assessing your supply chain, scoping the competition, staying on budget, understanding state laws and taxes, and much more. You obviously want to be very, very close to your larger customer base. The steps may vary. All businesses are different. You open up a successful business, it looks different than my business, and that's okay. It's the end result that counts, because we're all in results-based business. Not all these steps will apply to every business. For example, many people start small businesses from their home and do not hire employees initially, right? I can do it all myself until we grow and grow and grow. Now I can hire some other people because now I have enough money to do so. The business plan, as I spoke about before, that's your roadmap to business success. The components of the plan, they cover everything from financial projections, right? So how much do we plan to spend, and how much do we plan to make, to physical location and products and services. All of that, everything that we talked about in the previous slides are all here in the business plan. Having a complete and thorough plan is essential to the success of any business, right? You have to have a plan, just like they say in project management, proper planning prevents poor performance. Small or large, businesses never plan to fail, but they do fail to plan, right? And that makes perfect sense. Parts of a business plan. So you have your executive summary, your company description. So executive summary, overview of what's going on, company description. This is what the company does. This is what they don't do. Market analysis, what's going on with the other companies that are like yours out in the marketplace. Organization and management, service and product line, marketing and sales. Obviously, you have to get the product out there to be successful. Funding requests, we discussed that with loan from a bank, personal loan, venture capitalist, different things like that. And then financial projections. Where do we project we're going to be at the end of the year? Where do we project we're going to be in 2 to 3 years? So the executive summary briefly tells your reader where your company is, where you want to take it, and why your business idea will be successful. If it's not good, no one is going to give you the time of day. Established businesses should include mission statement, company information, growth highlights, products and services, financial information, and the summary of future plans, right? So that's from established businesses. New businesses should include background on your experience, decisions that you led that led you to start this particular enterprise, and demonstrate that you have done through during thorough market analysis, right? You probably get more leeway on the new business side as opposed to established business, because they know that you've already been, kind of in the mix, and you know what you're doing. Company description provides an overview of your business, including nature of business, marketplace needs that you're trying to satisfy. Like the need I'm trying to satisfy is that people just want to talk and it'll type it out for them, as opposed to actually typing on their computer. How your products and services meet these needs, specific consumers, organizations, or businesses that your company serves or will serve, right? Here's our list of our client base, and then these are the companies that may be coming aboard. Competitive advantages that will make your business a success. Like, so what do you do that makes your business a success? And more so, what do you do that makes your business more successful than others in your same market or industry? Illustrates your industry and market knowledge. This is a market analysis, as well as any of your research findings and conclusions, right? So we want to do analysis on the market, present that to hopefully, move forward in the process. Industry description and outlook, information about your target market, like who are we focusing on? Are we focusing on males from 18 to 24, or are we focusing on someone else? Distinguishing characteristics, size of your primary target market, because people want to evaluate, how good of a chance do they actually have of being successful. Competitive analysis, and regulatory restrictions, right? There might be certain things in there that say, hey, you can't, fly in a shipment of bananas every week. So that could put a big damper in your plans, because you plan to ship out, 1,000 bananas every week. Organization and management includes your company's organizational structure, details about ownership. Like for instance, in my company on our website, it shows details about ownership, has a CEO, the CTO, the Chief Technical Officer, Executive Vice President, Director of Marketing, Vice President of Marketing, Chief Marketing Officer, has all those people there, and it shows like, hey, this is what these people do, and this is why. And the qualifications of your board of directors always important, because they're the steering committee, and they're thinking about these things in more broad terms and more of a 10,000-foot view, and letting everyone know this is the direction that we believe the company should go. The service or product line: describe your service or product by outlining specific benefits of your product or service, because they could be combined from a customer's perspective. So you want to let them know like how are they benefiting. The product life cycle: when is it created, how is it used, and then when is it disposed of and how is it disposed of. Existing or pending patents or copyrights, especially for those who are inventors, those are very important. And research and development activities: a lot of money sometimes needs to be invested in research and development. Marketing and sales. Now that comes the fun part. So marketing is a process of creating customers, and customers are the lifeblood of your business. If you don't believe that, you're in the wrong type of business. On this section, first thing you want to do is define your marketing strategy, right? So you want to say, hey, here's what our marketing strategy is. This is what I have, and this is the type of information that I have that leads me to believe that we're going to make the right decision. After you've developed a comprehensive marketing strategy, you can then define your sales strategy, and sales strategy starts, and then everything else kind of flows in line behind it. Sales says we project that we're going to sell this many, so we need for you to make this many, and they kind of drive that process. So it covers how to plan and actually sell your product. A funding request: when we talked about getting money, you need money to start a business. If you are seeking funding from your business or for your business, include the following. So funding requirements: how much do you require? Type of funding you would like to have. Maybe it's equity or any other type of firms. Intended use for the funds, right? Am I buying, equipment? Am I buying, or leasing a building? Or am I buying the latest, greatest skateboard because that's what I want to use, and I'm just going to take a little money off the top to do so. Strategic financial situational plans, right? So you have to have plans, just general similar plans, but you also have to have plans that are relative to your financials, and that always makes sure that you do the right thing and be fiscally responsible with your business and their money. If you own an established business, you will be required to supply historical financial data for the last 3 to 5 years, right? So, anybody in finance knows to keep those documents for that amount of time, including income statements, balance sheets, and cash flow statements. Both startup and established businesses are required to supply prospective financial data to see what you expect your company to be able to do within the next 5 years, right? You definitely don't want to put down, I expect for my company to fold and jump ship from there. Each year's document should include forecasted income statements, balance sheets, cash flow statements, and capital expenditure budgets. So that's it for Chapter 5. We'll move on quickly to Chapter 6. As I stated, the PowerPoint presentations won't be long, but just wanted to go over some general data with you so that you more thoroughly understand the chapter. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to email me. I will be glad to assist. Thanks a lot, and hope you have a great day.